Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. We'll start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and double honors into the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that taught us this Yahweh truth and continue to rule well through the spirit of power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. I wanted to get into this article from the newsletter ncronline.org titled Pope Asks Theologians to Help Demasculinize the Church. All right, in an attempt of the global elites, which you need to have an understanding who's running the show, to emasculinize the entire planet, man. Okay, the effeminization of the man. It's an agenda. It's a global agenda, man. See, emasculinate. All right, Slovakia. Let's see, emasculate. All right, means to deprive a man of his male role or identity, and then it goes into to make someone or something weaker or less effective. All right, so this is an attempt to emasculate the Earth's population of men. Okay, it's a subversion tactic to, what does it say, to bind the strong man, so that you could have pretty much authority over the household. You can infiltrate the household, and now you can control the other entities of the family, right? The mother and the children. And then the man's fucking through, all right? But this is just another component of that agenda of the elites to emasculate the entire earth, okay? What else does that bring? Uh, Population control, all right? Because then now, just as we've seen, this population decline can be attributed to the fact that men have been emasculated, all right? And now that they're taking it to um, a theological, to the theological sector, if you will, all right? It's crossed over into that realm where, and for years they've been doing this. They've been exalting women into positions of authority in the church, giving them the titles of fucking pastor and shit, okay? Prophetess and all this, all right? And yes, indeed, it is a prophetic occurrence that's going down with the woman compassing a man, but you have these fucking men in authority, like into this motherfucker. The Pope is a demon, but really going into the elites, man. All right, the ones where the orders come down from that are completely imploding societies by putting women in positions of authority, man. Okay, because we know that that's one of the main ways that something will fall. All right. It says Pope Francis greets Congolese senior Josie uh, Nagalula, a sister of St. Andrew's. Okay, Sister Josie Nagla, Nigalula, a sister of St. Andrew and one of 5 women theologians on the International Theological Commission, a body that studies theological questions for the dicastery for the doctrine of the faith at the Vatican. All right, November 30th. Asking pardon for speaking plainly, Pope Francis told members of the International Theological Commission that one of the great sins we have had is masculinizing the church, which also can be seen by the fact that only 5 of the commission members, only Slovakia, oh yeah, only 5 of the commission members are women. All right. And we know that none of them should be women. Anybody on a commission or a council, we know that in the church, that the woman is to have a back seat. All right. And ultimately, when you look at the structure of how the Most High set up the church, his tabernacle, all right, the woman really doesn't have a role or a place. Well, look at the Most High's most accurate embodiment of his ministry down here in the form of Great Millstone. All right, there's not one female woman member in Great Millstone that so called got her hand to the plow. All right, because ultimately ministry is for men, man. All right, look at those the Levite order, going back to the origins of this thing, and tell me how many of them had a quabah, how many of them were bleeders. Okay, to show you what the Most High has set up. Okay, in the church and in that whole ecclesiastical office, a woman is a complete backseat. All right, and is, what does it say? To a man, she is to be in subjection to a man. All right, and not to usurp authority. All right, so this is clearly transgressive of the laws of the Most High. Okay, it says the Pope, who appoints the 28 members of the commission, said the church needs to make more progress in balancing such bodies because women have a capacity for theological reflection that is different from what we men have. All right, and this is the fucking problem with all the shit you have across society, across these different sectors and industries, where they're, these men have taken upon themselves to start um, adding women to the mix where it was otherwise never permitted. Okay, in the whole history of mankind, the man, these current and modern day fucking men have took it upon themselves to fuck up an ancient order. All right, and to bring women in places where they're not even uh, fulfilled. They're not even fulfilled in that position, because her natural physiological role is to be subservient to a man and to be a helpmate, to do what he says, wait on him hand and foot, be it his beckoning call. All right. So you have these motherfuckers that have completely fucked up the ancient order of Yahweh Shem Shai, and just the natural order of the natural order of mankind. All right. What does it say here? Francis met members of the commission at the Vatican November 30th. He handed them a prepared text. Okay, that's irrelevant. Okay, listen to this faggot. But greeting members of the group, the Pope said that perhaps his conviction about the importance of women theologians comes from the fact that I've studied a lot the theology of a woman, Hannah Barbara Garel Falkovits, and her work on Friar Romano Guardini, a German priest, philosopher, and theologian who died in 1968. So this nigga been inundated, and, and it's pretty much been flooded out with literature from a goddamn woman theologian, man. So that's what he's got up in his fucking noggin, which is pretty much that Captain Save-A-Hole fucking sentiment that these men have adopted, and started to take the position that we need to implement more women in authority in these different sectors in society, namely here in the church. The bitch will tell you, like, no, I'm straight just being, being the back seat because she was naturally fucking wired to be that way. These men literally forced these women and thrust them into these positions. And they just, a lot of them have just assumed the roles just because these faggot ass fucking men. All right. It's almost to an extent them doing what they do and following what the fucking men says to do. So the problem ultimately in a lot of ways is these men, man. These weak, fucking, spineless, sapless excuses for men, man. Okay? That's why it's serious to talk about. You see in Babylon, the men with their fucking hands on their loins. Okay? These fucking men in Babylon and across the planet because this Babylonian philosophy is global. All right? So that's why you have this faggot, the Pope, adopting this type of shit. Right? Especially in Babylon. What does it talk about? The men as women. Okay? And that's what exactly emasculate goes into to make fucking weaker. It says, check this out. It's wicked. Coincidentally, Gerl Falkovitz is one of the four German women who wrote to Francis about their concerns regarding the German Catholic Church's synodal path. In a letter published by a German newspaper November 21st, Francis responded to the woman saying, I too share this concern about the numerous concrete steps that are now being taken by large parts of this local church that threaten to move further and further away from the common path of the universal church. Okay. We know about this man's buzzwords. Okay. Going into his one world, which is synonymous with universal. Okay. He has his quote unquote one world agenda, right? To amalgamate all the uh, religions of this world into one religion. Okay. One wicked left side religion. Okay. And also what his one world bank is the his one world um system. Okay. And all those go into this man's un to be universal, right? Which we know goes into the Catholic Church. So it's saying that if we don't implement these agendas of having women in authority in the church, then if we don't do that, then we're veering away from the path of the Catholic Church to be universal. Okay? And we know this is fucking wicked. Scriptures talk about being holy and separate and set apart and not following a multitude to do evil, not being fucking universal. Scriptures talk about how this world is drenched in wickedness, okay? And to have nothing to do with this fucking place, all right? And these are supposed to be people who are bringing the word of the Most High. But we know that to be complete fucking hogwash, all right? And that they're bringing uh, complete wickedness, man. It's Satan worship and shit. That's that's masked with with that whole thing that is the Catholic Church. Okay, we know what the fuck is going on in that whole system. What they've been accused of, nothing but pedophilia and fucking egregious crimes what do they call that? Offenses, right? Egregious offenses. All right. That's what it says. Slovakia. Mm. Francis told members of the commission that at the next meeting of his International Council of Cardinals, we will have a reflection on the feminine dimension of the church. Providing no other details, he repeated that he had said in the past, the church is woman. And if we do not understand who women are, what the theology of a woman is, we will never understand what the church is. And this is this whole shit of this recent thing that came out, this blasphemy that to say that God is a woman. All right, this is in alignment with that. We know that Israel is referred to as a woman in the feminine, going into the bride of the Most High of Yahweh Shai, of course. But that doesn't mean that this that that is headed by women. You fucking piece of shit. Okay. It just means that the church is a woman. It doesn't mean that the church are women. Fucking retards. Okay. That's that whole new shit. That God is a woman shit, man. Okay. There is no the theology of a woman. Theos goes into theology goes into the study of the Most High, right? Theology, etymology is theos, which goes into God, and logia, which is the study of, right? Logia or logi. Let's get it in the etymon line. Is the science of religion or the study of the Most High and his relationship to humanity. Okay, where the fuck in that has anything to do with the woman? You see, taking it upon themselves to just insert some fucking doctrine that's completely going off, man. And the Most High is gonna punish this fucking blasphemy, man. This is type of stuff, especially because now you're taking the book, okay, and as aforementioned, inserting shit, okay, um, butchering these scriptures, man. And really, no, it's worse. It's not that innocent, straight up deceiving the masses. Okay, purposefully taking these scriptures and twisting it to their agendas. Okay, it says Francis said having more women on the commission would help, but the theologians also need to dedicate more energy to studying the issue and to demasculinizing the church. Okay, which is completely contrary to what we read in these scriptures, right? The Most High is a masculine, right? Let me get this. The Most High is the ultimate man, the ultimate masculine power. Okay. What does it say? Show yourselves men. Isaiah 46:8. Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Okay. This word, show yourselves men. Isaiah 46:8. Show yourselves men. This phrase means to be a man, to show masculinity, to champion, not only to be a champion, but to champion. because you can champion something. You can champion a race or a task, right? As a verb, to be a great man, and then it expounds in the Strong's definition to act in a manly way. So, how is are they are there attempts to demasculinize the church when it tells us to show masculinity and to act in a manly way? That's what these scriptures, this doctrine, ultimately the congregation and the ministry of the Most High is. Okay, it's masculine. You fucking piece of shit. So they're looking to demasculinize. That's pretty much to strip away from these scriptures, to weaken, right? As we read, to emasculate. But it couldn't be farther away from these scriptures what they're attempting to do. First Timothy 2:11, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. We went into that word subjection means to be in captivity to, man. It's got some heavy implications. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over a man, but to learn, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed in Eve, but Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Back seat, okay? This is in Proverbs 8:4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. Okay, it's a cut. Where in that is to demasculinize, masculinize, and to that's basically to feminize, man. And we know, fuck, man, this is some wicked ass shit. We know feminine means. So look, they're saying to demasculinize the church, which means to feminize. Okay, because when something's not masculine, the opposite to demasculinize something would be to make it feminine, to feminize. Okay, Slovakia. Okay, check it out. Here it is. This word, femina, right? It means to be unfaithful. Okay, this word feminine, to feminize something, it means it um to pretty much strip the faith from it. Femina, fee, religion, minus. Okay, so femina, less faith. Okay, so to feminize is to strip the faith. Okay, it says Proverbs, Slovakia. Yep, let's get that. Proverbs 8:4. That word man, or the word men, that the Most High is calling, and that his voice is to, okay, it means a man, a male, in contrast to a woman, female. So it's specifically speaking about a man, man. It just told you it's in contrast, meaning contrary to because that's not her office. Her office, is like when they say another day at the office, or they'll say, like, for example, when a nigga, like the center, like Shaquille O'Neal or whatever, a fucking center of the five spot in on a fucking hoops roster, right? Then they'll say, oh, the nigga's in his office, right? It's just that's your fucking wheelhouse, that's your territory, all right? And it's not the church like this. It's not ministry of the Most High. Okay, for crying out loud, the men of the Most High rolled with, and we didn't trust in the sword in our sword, but they roll with fucking with like the elder Gad says, the Thule. Okay, they rolled around with the Thule, man. Can you imagine the fucking bitch with the sidearms over there in the traveling band? Because that's what we are likened to as well. All right. When you go into when King Saul came upon that band of prophets, okay, they were likening it to a band because not only a band is a military unit. All right, check it out. It's a straight up platoon because that's what also outside of an ecclesiastical office, that's what the ministry of the Most High is likening it to, an army, man. Okay, and that would be weak, a female army. Okay, she's a nurturer, man. Just like we went into the characteristics associated with masculinity are far fucking contrasting from the characteristics that are associated with femininity, which are like to be gentle, to be dainty, to be nurturing, right? And a man is to some of them are to be aggressive, right? A man needs aggression, okay, to be strength, courage, okay. So this is in direct contrast to a woman, specifically speaking of a man, is which where the Most High's congregation is. Revelation 21:3. See, the Most High even doesn't even deal with men directly. It's through Yahushai, and then in turn, in part, he of course he doesn't deal with the women directly. He deals with them through the men. Okay. Anyway, this is Revelation 21:3, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power." Okay, so the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, man. All right, that's plain. He deals with he only deals with us through proxy of Yahweh Shai, and it's even farther removed from the woman. So how the fuck is she gonna be in ministry? Okay, in the tabernacle and congregation of the Most High, which is dealing directly with Yahweh Shai and then with Yahweh. Okay, so the Most High is only dealing with a woman by proxy of the man. So it's first in the hierarchy, as it says, his tabernacle is with men. Okay, and he dwells with them. So we know we could see this is blatantly adverse to these scriptures. This agenda of demasculinizing the church. Fuck. She said Ezekiel 34:31, and ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men. All right, and this is the same word. This is the same implication. Like it said, a man, a male, in contrast to a woman or a female. It's all good too. Not her place. Okay? And it's this fucking tender rod spirit. Like fucking the brother Todd says. All right, it's that tender rod fucking Quabah having spirit that these men have on them to even wanna to add them into the but the Most High has men set up for the defense of the gospel to combat these heresies and false doctrines, man, to set the record straight. All right. So with that, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakah Kadash. Shalom.